Hello, people. Back at it again. Another episode of The World is Burning. Shout out to the nearly 500 subscribers now. Love you all, guys. I think we've got a real great community going on here, getting some great comments. Leave me a comment throughout any of these videos, guys, with how you're going through these economic situations. This channel, we're just covering the economic hardships everyone's going through right now. Going to be covering some of these 2024 collapses that I think are just on the way here, guys. I think it's right around the corner. Today we're looking at tax. I just got my tax increase through. It's going to be 3% for me this year for my council tax. It's not including everything else. But on average in the UK, it's looking like 5.1%, which is just ridiculous when people are already struggling right now. Start doing a bit of a deep dive. These are all the different types of taxes that we come in contact with, guys, in the UK. Income tax, capital gains, national insurance, VAT, corp, bankroll, petroleum, fuel, inheritance, stamp, tobacco, spirits, beer, wine, cider, betting, air, insurance, premium tax, landfill, climate change, aggregates. Honestly, guys, it's everything that you come in contact with these days. You're paying some form of tax onto it. And when you start looking at how much do we really pay, not just looking at your income tax and whatnot, but on average, the average earner pays 63% of everything that they earn on tax. That's the average, guys. You know, if you are a higher earner, it's going to be way, way, way higher than that. But yeah, it's rough out there. And I've always said this, I wouldn't mind paying taxes. I'd have no issue paying taxes if it was being spent correctly. And we'd actually see the world and country going in a positive direction. But look at this, the UK national debt grows at a rate of £5,170 per second. The debt's so big, the interest is just racking this thing up even though you're paying it down. It's unsustainable. And then you look at this American one, like, my God, how do you even tackle a $34 trillion debt? You just can't. So the money that you're being taxed is going to service the debt. And that's just going to keep increasing, guys. And we're going to hit a point where it's unserviceable. So I don't really know what happens then. But yeah, we're getting taxed too much. I haven't seen any of these videos, guys. Let's see what the world is saying about tax.
If you earn more than £1,000 per year on a side hustle, you might want to watch this video. HMRC is clamping down on side hustles with new rules that come into effect of January 2024. The new rules basically make it easier for HMRC to have access to your bank account or to your trading platforms such as eBay and Depop to find out how much you're really earning. The tax threshold remains the same, so if you earn more than £1,000 profit between April and April, which is a tax year, you need to be declaring your income to HMRC. That's literally any income that you've earned on top of your job, such as delivering takeaways or selling items online. So if that's you, you need to register for a tax self-assessment. It's really easy, you fill it out once a year and declare your earnings and pay taxes on your profit. The key word here being profit. If you buy a pair of jeans for £30 and sell them for 2 years later on vintage for £10, you have not made a profit, you have made a loss. You do not need to declare that income. Check out the government website for everything else you need to know about a self-assessment.
You guys,
you earn more than £1,000.
They're coming after you. They're coming after you. Even if it's just small amounts of money that you're earning on the side, they want their cut. I know Biden in America, he's hired, 87,000 extra IRS agents. I think a lot of that, though, is going after these PPP loans and some of the COVID scams and whatnot, trying to claw back some of that money. But yeah, guys, they want their cut.
So, new tax law coming in to force in the UK in January of 2024. Now, the government have decided it's a great idea during a time where cost of living crisis is crippling people. And as a result, more and more people are going out and finding themselves little side hustles. Now, most of the time, this is due to the fact that their regular income, their job, their stable income isn't enough to pay their bills or to get by or to live comfortably. But the UK government has ordered the likes of Etsy, Deliveroo, Uber Eats, any sort of company like that, the main sort of companies where people are going to get a little side income, they've instructed them that they must start declaring exactly how much all of their users make and sending that information to HMRC as of January 2024. Now, what will happen is they'll cross-reference that information against the information that's been given to them on each individual person's self-assessment, and then they'll decide, they'll see what's been declared and what hasn't, and they'll decide if any action needs to be taken on these people that are perhaps not declaring everything exactly as they should, people that are already working a full-time job and having to go out on top of that to find a side hustle to make some extra income just to be able to live to any sort of comfortable standard. as more and more...
Yeah, going to pause this here, guys. I think it's pretty clear. If someone's out there doing 2, 3, 4 extra side hustles, they're struggling and they need some cash, the government needs to come up with some sort of secondary tax system. Like, you get taxed on your main income, but any side hustles, it's a reduced rate, because what's the point in paying money to the government if you're struggling and then you need to get government assistance and whatnot? It's ridiculous, but they want their cut, people.
For doing that, the government have cottoned on. They're now decided that they're going to start chasing people down and hunting them for extra tax, basically. Now, should people be paying their fair share of tax and the right amount of tax anyway? Yeah, of course they should. Any little penny that you may have been managing to squirrel away and not declare on your tax returns, you'll have to now, from January 2024. So
Yeah, that's it, guys. So if you are in this situation, you got some side hustles, really look into the law, look into what you have to owe, do your self-assessment terms. You don't want the government coming after you.
January 2020.
So it's tax season, and I'm about to hit you with a harsh reality. Obviously, we know that 2023 is a horrible year for the consumer, with record inflation and the cost of living being sky high. And also, we saw records for how much personal debt the everyday consumer had. And it's this debt that you're continuing to carry over into 2024 that will keep you broke and will keep you in the position that you're in unless you do this one thing. And you're not going to like this next part, so brace yourself. If you end up getting a tax return this year, that money is not to be used to splurge on yourself. I don't care if you've been waiting to buy the Jordans. I don't care if you've been waiting to buy yourself the iPhone that you've been wanting for 6 months. Now is the perfect time with your tax return to get ahead financially. So,
yeah, look at this guy here, Forever Stay. I'm getting $8,700 back, and all that will be going to paying off my car. This is the mindset you need, people. Your tax returns isn't free money to go on holiday with this year. This is money you need to align yourself with so you're ready for this next storm.
What that looks like is pay off your debt.
Yeah.
If your tax return isn't enough to pay off your debt, then pay it down. Because now you're going to start saving money every single month. If you don't have debt, this is a great time to start investing. Those financial goals that you have, that you keep telling yourself eventually I'll get to them, that's what your tax return is supposed to be used for. So do the smart thing, discipline yourself. When that tax return comes in, don't spend it on yourself. Pay off your debt, get where you want to go financially because you deserve to win.
Yeah, this is the year not about splurging, people. This is the year of saving and aligning yourself so you're ready to weather these storms.
Are you seeing the number of people that are calling for a tax strike in 2024 because we do not want to let our government fund the of millions of people? And I'm curious also if the many billionaires are going to be okay with paying their fair share of taxes, because this is a cause that they can finally get behind. Are you seeing...
Yeah, and this goes back to my point earlier, guys. I wouldn't mind paying taxes if I knew where the money was going and it was going for things that would actually better the world, not just blow things up, not just siphon money off, and God knows where it goes. I mean, the IRS failed their audit 6 years in a row. If you failed your audit 6 years in a row, you'd be in jail. Leave me a comment, guys.
Is your council tax bill about to rise from April?
Yes,
Here's what you need to know. Council tax is likely to increase by the maximum amount possible across England, and the proposed increase could add £100 to a typical Band D council tax bill. Levelling Up Secretary Michael Gove announced an additional £600 million in local government funding. He told the Commons last week that councils would see an increase in core spending power of up to £4.5 billion and announced an additional £600 million in local government funding. However, this financial boost was based on the assumption that local authorities in England would apply the maximum allowable council tax rise. The government has allowed several councils to raise tax by 15% due to exceptional financial circumstances, which include Croydon and Woking, while Birmingham and Somerset are seeking approval for 10% increases. According to The Independent, Nottingham was the most recent to declare bankruptcy in November last year, while Birmingham City Council, the largest local authority in the UK, issued a Section 114 notice in September. Government officials have said that councils should be mindful of cost of living pressures before setting tax levels. Your council tax bill about...
And in this climate, guys, any council in the UK putting their council tax up 15% needs sorting out. That's absolutely ridiculous.
U.S. government up to? Really, what are they up to? Everybody that I have talked to has told me they owe money on taxes. And I'm like, that's crazy. Y'all must have messed up. Like, I don't believe y'all. I just filed my taxes and guess who fucking owes? Me. We're just a middle class family here in the United States. However, according to like our cost of living compared to our paycheck, it feels more like we're in the lower class bracket. So that doesn't calculate either. But how the fuck do I owe with 2 dependents and the fact that we don't make crazy amounts of money? What does everybody else owe? I'm curious now because I'm really butthurt about owing $3,600. And listen, I'm probably...
Yeah, how's a woman supposed to cover a $3,600 deficit on a tax bill that she has to pay? She's got 2 kids, says she's struggling. I mean, come on now, guys. Government sort it out.
Gonna pay it. So whenever I go to federal prison, hopefully somebody puts some money on the books. Actually, probably don't do that either, because the government will probably be like, we gotta tax those gifts. How dare you be able to have money to buy something from the commissary? I'm fucking over it. So
yeah, that's a stressed out woman there. But look at this one, guys. Nah, they'll just garnish your wages, so trust me, they will get their money. Yeah, they always get their money.
New HMRC rules start from 1st of January 2024. From 1st of January 2024, all the gig company like Airbnb, Amazon, eBay, Deliveroo, Fever, Uber, etc., all companies, whoever work for them, company must need to report HMRC. So if you work for them, remember, you need to do your tax return if your income more than £1,000 in the tax year. Otherwise, HMRC can easily find out your income from them. So dear viewers, be careful. If you're working for them, you make sure you get your UTR before 31st October and then you submit your tax return by 31st January. Thank you.
Yeah, guys, if you've got a side gig in the UK, I don't think they're playing games this year and moving forward. I think they realise people are taking on these second, third jobs just to get by and they want their cut. So yeah, be careful with the taxes, people. I don't want you getting hit with any of these fines.
So today, Mr. Speaker, I'm going to cut the main 12% rate of employee national insurance. If I cut it by 1 percentage point to 11%, that would be an extra £225 in the pockets of the average worker every year. But instead, I'm going to go further and cut the main rate of employee national insurance by 2 percentage points from 12% to 10%. That change will help 27 million people. It means someone on the average salary of £35,000 will save over £450. Today, Mr.
What y'all done did, man? What? Damn it.
If you file taxes, this is when you're going to get your tax refund. The first thing you need to understand is the tax season opens 1 week from today on January 29th. And although you may have already filed, even if your tax return got accepted, the IRS is not really going to do anything with it until January 29th. The second thing you need to understand is if you're paying to get your taxes filed for you and you make under $79,000, you're wasting money because the IRS offers a free file software that will allow you to do that for free. And for clarity, it's not their software, it's a partnership with other softwares like TaxSlayer and some others. Now for what you've been waiting for, when will you receive your tax refund? The IRS states that Americans will receive their tax refunds 21 days after their forms are received. In order to make sure you fall within this 21-day time frame, make sure you electronically file and you also opt in for direct deposit. Finally, the IRS always messes certain things up, so make sure you go and read through your return and make sure there are no errors so you can receive your refund on time. If those problems do happen, I'll be here to help you guys through it, so go over and give me a...
Yep, shout out the Americans out there. Hope you get some nice tax refunds and you use that money to better yourselves, guys.
As a company director, Watch this video to find out the latest HMRC tax investigation trends. Firstly, if you submit a VAT return in a quarter that has a large VAT repayment, we see this in practice, almost certainly will lead to an inquiry finding out what's going on. Secondly, any filing amendments to the corporation tax return could lead to an investigation. A big one is R&D tax relief claims. We're seeing these being investigated almost certainly, no matter what is going on in that claim. As an individual, if you own property and this is not on your self-assessment tax return, this will trigger a one-to-many letter saying there's an anomaly there. And the big one at the moment is crypto investment. If you're investing in crypto, whether via a limited company or an individual, and this hasn't been declared or there's an anomaly, HMRC have data and this will trigger an investigation. HMRC have a lot of data at their fingertips now, so we're expecting and seeing a lot more investigations. If you have any experience in investigations with HMRC, comment below, like and follow me for the latest tax tips, tax advice and tax.
Yeah, guys, I think this is going to be the year of investigations for the HMRC and the IRS in America and wherever you are in the world as well. Look at some of these comments here. End of day, HMRC are after your money. Yep, they want their cut, people, and they will get it. Truman, fear, 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 pay, pay, pay. And then Big Tony here, never paid tax. Shout out Big Tony. Yeah, I don't think this is the way to go, people, because eventually that will bite you in the ass, this method. All right, people, we'll leave it there today. Leave me your thoughts on tax. Do you think it's a bit outrageous right now in the UK? Let me know what towns you're in and how much your council tax has gone up. Genuinely interested in that. And I'll catch you on the next one, people. Bye.